The date is September 5th, 1906, and you are a 40-year-old dad heading to a college football game with 10-year-old Timmy, who will never experience any national or global turmoil firsthand in the coming decades. You are watching your favorite team, the Carroll College football team. Today, they are playing against the St. Louis University and head coach Eddie Kochums. The game starts, and midway through the first quarter, St. Louis QB Bradbury Robinson throws the ball forward. The result is incompletion and a turnover on downs. What a stupid play. That'll never work. Later on the next drive, Robinson suddenly steps back to pass and completes the ball to wide out Jack Schneider for a 20-yard touchdown, and the crowd loses their minds. How could they do this? It's such a cheap play. It's so stupid. You don't understand how your favorite team could lose 37-0 to that. Don't they understand that you'll just go home and beat your wife and children because of this loss? Why doesn't your team care about your family like that? Passing in football and the quarterbacks that have perfected it are one of the very first things that people think of when they hear football or NFL. After 1906, football went down a 120-year path of increasing the value of not only the QB position, but throwing the ball in general. In the late 1920s, Benny Friedman emerged in the NFL as the godfather of pro football QBs, being one of the very first to throw the ball effectively with an, at the time, tight and powerful throwing motion, throwing for an unheard of 20-touchdown season in 1929, his first year with the New York Giants.
Dan Marino is pro football's most prolific passer. Steve Young has the highest passer efficiency rating ever. Benny Friedman was pro football's first passer, period.
Friedman was such a big deal that after just 2 seasons in the league, New York Giants owner Tim Mara decided to buy the Detroit Wolverines franchise Friedman played for. That's right, Mara bought the entire franchise just to secure his rights. Sounds crazy, but it paid off.
Sammy Baugh, who played for the Washington Redskins in the 30s and 40s, took the next step in the passing evolution, throwing for an incredible 335 yards in one game in 1947.
One passing threat is slinging Sammy Baugh, who made history at Texas Christian University.
Sammy Baugh was the first big-arm quarterback in the National Football League.
Baugh pitches once more, this one in the end zone.
This guy was a guy who changed football with the way he threw the ball.
Then there was Johnny Unitas, who played for the Baltimore Colts in the 50s, who was the most precise and ball-knowledge individual player in the sport up to that point. But teams still ran the ball 60 to 70% during this time.
When you look at his game, you'll see the rhythm passing game, the 5-step drop, the 3-step drop, the pump fake, the hurry-up offense. All these things are the things that he perfected and were copied by every quarterback from that point to this point today.
But the passing game would soon explode thanks to the game-changing rules in the late 70s. The NFL limited defensive contact beyond 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, the Mel Blount rule, if you will, and allowed offensive linemen to use their hands in pass protection. This, in turn, lets quarterbacks have more time to throw and receivers come free on routes more, but also led to new, never-seen-before offensive schemes, like the Air Coryell offense, helmed by Dan Fouts on the Chargers, averaging 300-plus passing yards a game in the early 80s, or the West Coast offense that Bill Walsh came up with in Cincinnati, but perfected in San Francisco with Joe Montana, an offense that used the passing game as an extension of the run game, short precision throws designed to kill you with 1,000 cuts rather than just one big jab.
Sometimes they talk about drinking and conniving around with ladies and stuff.
I think we got a heck of a shot of winning.
It seems almost un-American to me for a bachelor not to, go around having a drink with a lady now and then.
Oh, and I like the clothes, too, on occasion. I had a few nice coats and some pants and things. Yeah, I was styling. I was a part of the time, man.
Quarterbacks in the NFL were already rock stars to the public, but after the rule changes and the innovation in passing schemes, not to mention more talent at the position, the quarterback has now become the face of the NFL and football as a whole.
Comes underneath and the pass is incomplete, out of bounds. Now they say complete. That is unbelievable. The throw that Rodgers.
In 1984, Dan Marino was the first 5,000-yard passer, outlandish at the time. The aforementioned Joe Montana commanded the West Coast offense and won 4 Super Bowls in 9 years with 3 Super Bowl MVPs.
It's not easy. It's far from easy. And I ran that offense. But his footwork, his timing, his accuracy, there was never a double clutch. It was just always in rhythm.
Peyton Manning mastered pre-snap reads in the 2000s, turning the QB into an offensive coordinator, essentially, and winning 2 Super Bowls because of it.
He was a coach on the field, and that allowed him to revolutionize the no-huddle and hurry-up offense.
Nice left! Heidi Raiders! Heidi Raiders! He's fake calling now. He's dummy call. Omaha! 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 Omaha!
Tom Brady mastered precision, command, and perfection with a 50 TD season in 2007, where he led the Patriots to a 16-0 regular season, winning 2 playoff games and only coming up barely short in the Super Bowl to his father, Eli Manning, ending that season at 18-1. He then went on to finish his career after the 2022 season with 10 Super Bowl appearances and 7 of those being wins, the most ever.
Congrats, man.
Tom Brady seems to have made a deal with the devil because he's not getting old. Every other quarterback got old.
You're too old! You're too old!
Patrick Mahomes redefined the position with improvisation and a big arm, along with a mad scientist at head coach, Big Red Andy Reid.
I mean, fake jump pass. Let me just go back over here, flip my hips this way, throw it back across the field. I mean, that's like backyard ball. How do you defend that?
This duo and their scheme single-handedly changed defense philosophy for the 2020s. Spearheaded by the head coach of the Denver Broncos at the time, Mr. Meatball, Vic Fangio, and his split safety defense schemed up to minimize the big play potential of Kermit the Frog and Tyreek Hill.
Look at this guy. Von Miller on his heels. He throws it left-handed.
So what does the passing game look like now? Football is more mental than ever. QBs have to be prepared for so much more, and playbooks and schemes reflect that. Offenses use RPOs to attack the defense with running or passing on the fly. Coordinators will spread out weapons wide to force the defense's hand, and signal callers line up in shotgun over under center more than ever. QBs use VR training and data analytics to study defenses. Teams now prioritize passing over running due to higher yards per play efficiency, though it did regress slightly in the 2024 season. Only 4 running backs ran over 1,100 yards in 2023. In 2024, 10 backs made it past 1,100, with Saquon making it to 2,000 and King Henry making it to 1,900, all because of the increased sophistication of defense and their commitment to stopping the pass. I have no idea what the passing game will evolve into going forward. Will we see someone break Peyton Manning's 2013 records, or will it devolve like it did in 2024 and running will soon dominate again? The passing game in football has changed drastically over the last 120 years, from a risky gimmick to the heart of the sport, driven by rule changes, innovative coaches, and legendary quarterbacks. If you liked this shitty video, please subscribe. I have more football videos like this one on the Denver Broncos. I have gaming content and even a crappy short film I made in fucking media school like a year and a half ago. Thank you for watching and joining me on this brief stint through football history. I'm trying to make more football content, but it's hard to find direction, so please leave your topic ideas in the comments.
Goddamn, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 tickets.